Indonesia is the world's largest fishery. Tuna, everything comes out of here. It's based on Indonesia's size, you know. They have so many islands here, the largest archipelago in the world. They cover 2 oceans. So many other illegal fishing boats come here.
Ini datang dari langsung dari sini. Oke, antara Jawa dan Bali.
Iya.
Oh, oke.
2.5-meter tiger shark was caught and killed at our location. So then I realized, hey, there's such a big problem here.
Ya.
Pak, ini potong nih, potong ya.
Apanya?
Tangannya saya bilang ini potong.
Oh, itu.
Ini semua dapat hari ini?
Ya.
Oh, oke. Setiap hari begini juga. Setiap hari biasa dapat.
Ya, nggak tentu.
Oh,
Kalau dapat nggak tentu.
oke. Dan ini semua dari pancing,
Iya, dari pancing
yang panjang.
Iya.
Oke. Jadi ada beberapa ratusan dapat.
Iya.
Kenapa cuma saya? Kenapa tidak daging?
Dagingnya nggak ikut.
Daging
Dijual dagingnya coba.
susah jual daging.
Iya.
Oh, oke. Jadi sayap yang bisa dijual.
Iya, bisa dijual.
Dulu waktu Bapak jadi nelayan tuh sempat dapat hiu atau enggak?
Sempat. Daerah hiunya kan dekat sini.
Oh, di daerah sana
Ya,
hiunya.
pantai.
Oh. Jadi terus yang bikin Bapak terpanggil untuk konservasi hiu gimana?
Awalnya itu dah dari karena kebanyakan orang tuh motong hiu kan habitatnya kan berkurang. Kita seolah-olah terpanggil ke sistem itu, jadinya ada Pak Paul nih nawari kita untuk kerjasama membantu apa namanya konservasi ya untuk penyelamatan hiu, karena dilihat-lihat di film-film tuh dipotong hiu tuh siripnya kasihan ya, tinggal bodinya.
My name's Paul Friese. I'm from Hawaii, the founder of Bali Sharks, which is a rescue center. We rescue sharks, we release sharks, We have the world record for saving sharks, and we're based here in Bali, Indonesia. It's basically the world's first shark rescue center, and now we work with like local fishermen, give them the choice not to kill the shark. You don't have to take it to the seafood restaurants and stuff. You can keep it alive, and then, we've been able to save 182 sharks so far. So Bali sharks, it's kind of a funny story. That night, 2.5 meter tiger shark was caught and killed at our location. So then I realized, hey, there's such a big problem here. So many people, the fishermen, would just come and kill all the shark. So I decided, why don't I make a safe zone for the sharks, a nursery, and then that's how it started. I think once they're educated, they care. 5 years ago, nobody even knew much about sharks. The nursery, it was built to actually give it a safe zone for the sharks. So once we built the nursery, the first sharks we got was a litter of 10 sharks that were stuck in Nusa Dua at low tide in a seaweed farm. It was pretty tricky because we had never got sharks, but he ended up selling them for 1.5 million rupiah, all 10. So that was $15 per shark about. So we had to learn how to transfer them over. We got them in. They were all, it was a litter, a brand new litter. So maybe 0.5 meter, not too big. So that was our first sharks. And then, so we had to learn, well, we got to feed them at least twice a week. And it was interesting because some grew really fast and some grew slower. If we do get a sick shark, we can isolate it, put it in its own area and make sure it gets healthy, feed it well. Indonesia, the water's dirty here. We try to keep the trash out with net. We have to clean every day, like 5 times a day. We try and clean it. There's plastic floating, seaweed. You don't want the sharks eating that and choking that, so we'll clean that. We have to look for holes in the net. We patch the holes, have to tie those up. We'll look for damage, other damage. So, everybody thinks, oh, don't swim with sharks, they're gonna eat you. But what I was teaching you about looking at their eyes. So I'm always asked, if I'm surfing alone and a big fin comes, what am I gonna do? If I see the fin, that's a good sign. It's the one you don't see that's gonna come up and sneak behind you and get you. That's how sharks hunt. So if I did see a fin, I'd throw my board aside, I'd just stare at the shark. And then they're usually just curious. I've cut my hands open and I'm full of blood. I have it on YouTube, and the sharks, they don't like our blood. So that's why it's fine to swim with sharks. So later on, once the sharks grow, everyone asks, well, how long do you keep them for? Once they're about 0.8 meter to 1 meter, then they're gonna get ready. It's interesting because like black tips, there'll always be 2 that grow fast. We take those 2 out and 2 more will grow. It's like, once the dominant ones leave, then the next 2 grow. So what happens if they're ready, we'll put them in boxes and then we'll transfer them over 2.5 hours on a fast boat over to the Gillies, which is a protected area, and that's it. The sharks are back into their habitat, natural habitat. Now divers get to see them, and we're back here waiting for the next ones to grow up. The nursery's old, the wood's rotted, the nails are rusted, it's falling apart. It's kind of sad because we never really had a grant. So we've done a lot of things no one else in the world has done, and we've done it without any grants. So now you're looking at some of these huge NGOs that say they save sharks, they haven't saved one, yet they'll blow 10 million, 100 million US a year doing nothing, just administrative fees. saying they save sharks. So I remain independent. I'm open to all, the suggestions and partnerships with people. I work a lot with schools, so we got to maintain everything. We'll have schools visit so they can do their research, scientists come. With the fishermen here, you ask them, well, do you eat the shark? No way. The meat sucks. It's terrible meat. It's toxic. They don't know that. It's really unhealthy to eat. So we've been testing the shark's meat, and it's really toxic, but nobody tested it. We took our samples to tuna testing, Bali Seafood Laboratory. Hey, have you ever tested sharks? And they're like, what? No, of course not. So hey, test our sharks. Because we've done some testing in Hawaii and other places, and I kind of know what's in it. Sure enough, it came back really high, over the limit in mercury, arsenic, lead. There's traces of lead. So these are neurotoxins. They're poisons. I could probably eat it. It bioaccumulates in my body. I cannot get rid of it. I can't discrete it or whatever. Yeah, it just stays in there. So now, if you're feeding or if you're eating this and you're younger, developing brain, it's a neurotoxin. It's going to affect you. If, ironically, like Chinese weddings are famous, I guess, for serving shark fin soup. So what's interesting about that, that's usually young couples that are going to give birth to a baby. So you've got a bride eating mercury, it stays in her. Eventually she's going to have a family and kids. It's going to affect the babies, her offspring. So yeah, it's full of neurotoxins, and there's no nutritional value. It's based on a consistency. They just take the
harapkan bagi masyarakat lokal untuk tidak menangkap hiu dan menjual hiu, karena hiu itu adalah dokter laut yang selalu menjaga laut tetap bersih, tetap sehat, dan memberikan kita ikan-ikan yang sehat untuk dikonsumsi. Dan saya rasa berilah keadilan buat laut kita, itu saja.